Thank you very much for joining this program, and I'm delighted to have you on board. I'm excited for this time we'll have together to share and explore on the theme, growing your potential. Have you maximized your potential? Do you think you've come to that point that you can say that you have maximized your potential? You have become all that you can be, or all that you are born or designed to be? Do you think anyone living could actually say that they have maximized their potential? We're looking into how we can maximize our potential, growing from where we are now to where we ought to be. And as you follow on and lean in, I want to assure you that you not only find out how, but you gain confidence to move from where you are to where you ought to be. It is my hope that you will find the answers that you're looking for. What is it that makes us know that we have maximized our potential? Many times we think, yes, I'm doing well, I've done one thing or the other, but can we actually say that you've maximized your potential? You've achieved all that you are able to achieve, or you have done as much as you need to do? That's that big question. Have you maximized your potential? I'm going to start off with a story. And this story is actually a life experience, something that happened to me many, many years ago. We were embarking on a project, as students, as teenagers. And our project was to plant a seed, a vegetable seed. And then we'll be assessed on the outputs of that seed. So we were given the same seed, given the same portion of land, allotment from the same portion of land, and all we were to do is to do whatever it is in our power, to grow that seed. So imagine the scenario we're in. We have the same seed, given portions from the same piece of land. Now, all the rest was now left to us to do. And as you could imagine, at the end, there were different results. And that got me thinking, because if you look at the seed that was planted, some planted the seeds, and just walked away and then hoped for the best. Some planted the seed and put some more effort into it, put some more action into it. And that eventually showed in the result each one got. Now you might be interested to know what I did. So I got the same seed on the same portion of land, but before I actually planted the seed, I dug the land and I got some manure, like, probably fertilizer you call them today. I watered the ground before I planted the seed. And after planting that seed, every day in the morning, I water the seed. In the evening, I water the seed. I made a guard around the hedge of my portion of land. And as the seed began to grow, I continually watered it and protected it. Now, some others did not do that. Some others did not protect their seed. Some people did not even, water the seed. But the surprising thing was this. At the end of the period, I could see the seed from different allotments. They did all germinate, most of them, but the output was different. So, which now gave me the understanding that even with the same seed, what you can get from the same seed can vary depending on the actions that you put in. So I don't think we actually found out what the potential of that seed could be, because what the seed could be, we didn't really find out. Because some of the apples we saw, they were slender, some were eaten by insects, some, did not grow very well, But I saw some, the stems were big, the leaves were big, and the plants actually grew. But was that the maximum? But there was something there. There was a lesson there for us to learn, that the actions that was put in determined how those seeds grew. So if we want to maximize our potential in life, the actions we put in does matter. And I discovered that from that point on, you can see that even though we don't know we were not able to maximize that potential, I could see that the actions we do put in go a long way to determine how we harness the potential of a thing. So that seed was there, was the same seed. The ground was the same. So what was different? The only different thing was the actions. The actions. The actions. Have you ever thought of that? That the same seed was eaten by maybe moth, maybe eaten by insects because, those that planted it did not protect it. Or the same seed did not grow properly. Why? Because those that planted it did not water it. Or the same seed could not grow as big as it could be. Why? Because there was not enough nutrient in the soil on which it's growing. Same seed. So even if we wanted to make it bigger or even better, probably even if we were able to do much more in that planting, that could probably have even, made that plant bigger, stronger, or even with bigger leaves. The same is true with our lives. The same is true with our lives. And that's why in this program today, I'll be exploring some concepts that will help us to maximize our potential. Our life is just like that seed. The actions we put in determine how far we can go, the potentials we can maximize, and what we can really do with our lives. What we see most often than not is just the concept of natural growth. And natural growth just depends on the external factors outside of us. Just like you plant the seed, whenever the rain falls, whatever nutrients you find in the soil, whenever the sun shines, that is what that seed will benefit from. But imagine, just like I explained to you in that project, if you consciously add water, not waiting for the rain to fall, add some nutrients, not just waiting for nutrients available in the soil. Some nutrients could be deficient in that soil, which the plant needs. What if you deliberately, add water whenever the plant needs it, not waiting for the rain to fall? It will in a great manner affect the output of that plant. We consciously wake up in the morning, eat, and that's why we grow in size. We drink. That's why we grow in size. If we stop eating, one day we will die. So there is a conscious effort put into that desire that I want to live. But unfortunately, we don't apply the same to other areas of our life. So the reason why we are still alive today is because we eat. And by eating is a deliberate effort. You wake up in the morning, I must eat breakfast. I must eat lunch. I must eat dinner. And that shows because your potential to grow lives on that determination that you are eating. And because you are eating, you are growing. But that growth is only in size. Do you have that same intention to grow every other area of your life? Your mental capacity, your spiritual life, your intellect, your abilities. Do you have that same attitude towards it? And that's why most often than not, most people only grow in size. Why? Because their actions are only targeted at eating, drinking, doing the bare minimum, or just relying on nature, whatever comes. But as you can see, we don't just rely on whatever we can find to eat. We deliberately make effort to find something to eat in the morning, eat in the afternoon, eat at night. So the first concept we'll be looking at today is that concept of intentionality. If we want to grow, if we want to grow our potential, if we want to grow to what we ought to be, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional. The same way we are intentional about what we eat and what we drink, helping us to grow our size, we also need to be intentional about what we can do to maximize the potentials we've got. And that is very, very critical as we desire to grow. Natural growth depends on factors outside of us, and that the output is just a function of whatever we get whenever we get it. But intentional growth is, what do I need to make the most of what I have got? And I begin to intentionally do it. And that sense of intentionality is what can help us to make the most of what we have, or what we have as potential. So the question is, what are you doing to maximize your potential? What are you doing to maximize your potential? What are you intentionally doing to see that seed can grow? Remember that story of the seed? All the seeds are the same. The land were all the same, but the output, the harvest, was different. Isn't that amazing? Do you know that even some of those seeds, it took intentionality, for the students, to actually take the seed and plant it? What do you think will happen to the seed if it were not planted deliberately? It will not grow. It has potential to grow, but it will never grow. So it even takes intentionality to take the seed and put it in the ground to grow it. So you see that even for the seed to grow, you need to intentionally take it from wherever it is and put it in the ground. Now, for it to now grow more, you need to ensure that the ground has the nutrients that it can help, that is necessary for the seed to grow. You need to ensure that the seed is actually protected from pests, from animals, from every dangerous thing that could eat up the seed or the plant. You need to ensure that there is watering every day, whether it rains or not. Ensure that you put those things in place. And that's the things that we ought to do consciously. The same with our lives. And that's why you see different people all around the world, everyone with different results. It will not happen if we don't intentionally do it. What we see in our lives today is just a result of what we are deliberately doing on a daily basis. What we are committed to doing. If it's just eating, if it's just drinking, that's the result we see. If we don't put effort, deliberate effort into all those areas of our lives to enhance our potential, to develop our potential, we don't see results in them. And perhaps the result we see are just the functions of the natural phenomenon. Whenever the rain falls, whenever the sun shines, whatever nutrients is there left in the soil. But we can go further to enhance our potential. We can go further to make sure that, we're not just relying on the bare minimum, but going further to that point where we can get the most, make the most of the potential in the seed. So for every man living, the potential is limitless. But the reason why we are not seeing it is because our actions are either nothing or limited. The more we are committed to the actions relating to our potential, the more the result we see. The output of the same seed, the same ground, was different. because of the actions that each person has put into it. So another question for you today is that what is it that is stopping you from putting in those actions that can help maximize your potential? What is it that is stopping you from making the most of who you are or what you have got? I think principal among them is fear. 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 Oh, I'm afraid. I don't know what my actions will turn out to be. I don't know if my actions will be worthwhile. I don't know if my actions will make a difference. That's one thing we need to overcome. If you don't put in the actions, we'll never see the result. If you don't put in the actions, you will never see the result. So we need to overcome that fear. The fear that makes us to do nothing, leaving the seed where it is, or just doing the bare minimum. I think this was a phenomenal shift, because as you reason along with that story, you will know that the power is in your hands. Your life is like a seed. If you leave it where it is, the seeds were still alive, but they were not the best they could be. And for everyone that was given that seed, the seeds only turned out to be what they could be based on the actions of those that handled them. And we could see the differences. So the more you are able to put into your life, the more the output you are able to get out of it. What is the maximum possible for your life? What is the maximum possible? What is the maximum possible? It's a function of what you are willing to put in. Your life is like a seed. What you are willing to put into it, invest into it, in your time, in your resources, to grow those hidden potential of yours, the more the results you will see. And that's my challenge to you today. If you will be intentional, if you will be intentional, you can see a difference in your growth. You can see a difference in your life. Now, I'll go through quickly some traps that may affect growth. I think, oh, I didn't see it this way before. You might identify with some of these things, and they could have been traps that have held you back. One is the thought that I will grow automatically. One, the thought that I will grow automatically. will just eat and drink, just become what you want to be. As you can see from those seeds. If you rely on automatic growth, you're just relying only on the external factors. If nobody plants the seed will not grow. Except it's so lucky that the wind blows it and it lands on a particular piece of land. But that is also determined. It depends on the texture of that piece of land and what the nutrient is on that piece of land. See, but the result will be different if somebody intentionally takes that seed and puts it in a fertile land, well-nourished land, watering it, strengthening it, covering it, the result will be different. So, I will automatically grow. We need to change that. 2, I will intentionally do something to grow. Number 2, I don't know how to grow. Well, as we see, growth is all about actions, daily routines. We are functions of the things we do on a daily basis. What we did yesterday is what brought us to where we are today. Where we will be tomorrow is a function of what we are doing now. So if we want tomorrow to change, we need to change the actions we are doing now. What we do on a daily basis, what fills our calendar, what fills our routine, what fills our plan is what determines where we will be. So if the actions you are doing now does not guarantee you a better tomorrow, you need to change what you're doing now so that you can change what tomorrow will be. Number 3, it's not the right time to begin. Oh, well, I don't think it's the right time. I don't think I have the time now, to do this, to do that. Well, if it's not the right time, then you're not going to get the results. If you keep postponing what is important to your growth, you keep postponing the growth itself. Number 4, I'm afraid of making mistakes. Well, at any point in life, even when you start walking, a child that begins to walk, once in a while will stumble and fall. But as it persists and continues, then the child becomes stronger and then perfects the art of walking. So you will not be perfect the first day. But as you begin to grow and continue, you find out that you are getting stronger, you are getting better, and maximizing those things that you have within you. Number 5, I've not found the best way, and I need to find the best way before I start. I want to make it perfect. I want to make it look good. Well, the problem is that if you want everything to be perfect, you're delaying when you're going to start. And if you don't start, you find it difficult. See, it's what you do that you can find errors in. If you don't do nothing, people cannot correct you. People cannot suggest improvement. People cannot have feedback. If you build a car, people can say, oh, you can do this to make it better. But if you do nothing, people can't tell you to improve nothing. So whether even it's a draft or even it's an idea, put it on paper, share it, and people will be able to correct you. You can improve on what you've done. Number 6, feeling. I don't feel like. Well, that's the same thing. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel like getting the result. You must intentionally put in those actions to get the desired result. Number 7, other people are better than me. That's the comparison trap. Other people will always be there. We are all going on different tracks. People have done their bits, you need to do your own. And even in this life, you find that there are so many people that make cars. Ford wouldn't say that, oh, because Toyota has made a car, I will make my own. You are aligned to a particular group of people. Even if you are making the same thing, there's something unique about what you need to do that will attract your own people. You have conference speakers, they attract different people. You have manufacturers of bread, they attract different people. You have manufacturers of clothes, they attract different people. So some people doing the thing you want to do does not affect you. Don't compare yourself with others. Follow your own lane. Put effort into what you need to do so that you can get the result that you need to get. And lastly, number 8, I thought would be easier. Well, anything that is worthwhile takes effort. Just like you see in that story, there is so much. Those that got the best result, they had to put in so much. They had to water day and evening. They had to get manure and put in the soil. They had to guard around it. They had to protect it. That's how we get results in life as well. One man once said that if we only want to do that which is easy, going through life will be tough. But if we venture to do those challenging bits, going through life will be easy. And I want to encourage you to look at results of those young men when they saw the harvest compared to all the others. You see the big fat stem, the big fat leaves, they got the best marks as well. But it didn't just happen. Their time paid off, their effort paid off. Compared to the person that just put the seed in the soil. Some of them, for some of them, because the soil was hard, the seed did not even germinate. So it pays off. So I'd like to encourage you, if you need to visit your routine again, say, wow, I need to be intentional. I need to work on this so that I can have a better future, so that I can have a better future, so that I can make the most of my potential. All the seeds have the same potential, but some people did not get to see that potential. Why? Because they were not willing to put the effort. They were not willing to put the actions. The actions they were able to put in yielded to them. And the same will be for your life. The actions you are able to put in will determine your yield. I'll go through those points again, those things that could be a trap. 1, I thought I will grow automatically. 2, I don't know how to grow. 3, it's not the right time to begin. Let me wait. 4, I'm afraid of making mistakes. 5, I have to find the best way before I start. 6, I don't feel like. 7, other people are better than me. 8, I thought it would be easier. So as we conclude this session today, I want to encourage you. From this point, make a decision to be intentional. I'm willing to put the actions necessary to get the best yield out of my life. I'm willing to get back to my routine, fill up my calendar with things that can build up my life. I'm willing to go back and visit my day-to-day activities to see how it can better improve my lot. I'm willing to go back, check my schedules, check my actions, because the seed is the same. The seed is the same. It depends on us what we make out of it. The seed is the same. It depends on us what we make out of it. To recap on what we've learned today, the concept of intentionality, we have to be intentional. If we are not intentional, we're only relying on whatever comes and will not be able to make the most of our potential. To grow beyond where we are now, to grow beyond where we are now, to even be able to scratch what the maximum we could ever be, we need to go beyond just whatever comes. We need to put deliberate actions in on a daily basis to get the results we desire. And I hope as we go today, we will make that change, make that significant change, put in that significant effort that can change our lives. We are a function of what we do on a daily basis. I hope you found this session helpful today. I hope it's made a significant change for you and that you're willing to put in those actions that can make a difference in your life. So thank you for joining today, and I appreciate all you have put aside to be able to join this, and I hope it's been a worthwhile time. But most importantly, I hope you'll be able to put this into practice to see a significant change in your life. Thank you very much for joining. We hope to see you again tomorrow. God bless you, and thank you for joining today.